Alright, so now this brings us to example 6, and this states, show that the following is the equation of a sphere and find its center and radius. So we have this equation, x squared plus y squared plus z squared plus 4x minus 6y plus 2z plus 6 equals to 0. So solution, we could rewrite the given equation in the form of an equation of a sphere if we complete squares. First, recall completing squares. Recall. Yes, if we recall right here, x plus a squared. Yeah, this equals 2 because that's just a square. So this equals 2, well, x plus a times x plus a. So we're going to multiply x by x, and then x plus a, and then x by a, then a times x, then a times a. In other words, we have an a times x and an x times a. So this equals to an x squared plus 2a, and then the last one is a squared plus a squared. So x times x is x squared, then x times a plus a times x is 2a. Yeah, 2ax, like that. Let's erase this and move it. 2ax, and then the last one, a times a is a squared, like that. Yeah, so the key thing is we have this 2a, and then we have this a squared there, and that's what this x plus a squared is, becomes this. Yeah, so thus, we just need to write these x and these y's and the z's all in this form so we can complete the square, and what we'll do is now, so thus, so we have this, I'm just going to blank this out, thus, and let's just move over this x over here, just for completeness, let's write it all out. This is x squared and then plus 4x. So we're going to write this as, let's write it here, x squared plus 4x, put a bracket just to separate it. And then the next one is this this y, and there's a negative 6y. So we have a plus y squared minus 6y. And then the next one is, this is going to be plus z squared, and then plus 2z. Like that, plus 2z. And then this 6, we're going to move it over to the other side. It's going to be negative 6, like that. And now if we look at this, completing the square, so this part right here, there's a 2a there. So all of these have a 2ax, but we need to add a squared. So in this case here, we have 2a equals to 4. So that means a is equal to 2, and a squared is equal to 4. This means, yes, this means a squared is equal to 4. Oh, let's remove that arrow. So we have a squared is equal to 4. That's rated small. And now this case here we have, so this right here, this is, put an arrow here. All right, so get back to here. So this negative 6, that means we have our 2a is equal to negative 6. That means our a is equal to negative 3, and then our a squared is just going to be, well, positive 9, like that. And the next one is over here. Our 2a is equal to 2. This means our a is equal to 1, and a squared is also equal to 1, like that. Yeah, so what this means is, well, we need to add an a squared to each one, and then we'll also subtract 1 from each equation, so that we don't change it, and then move that that additional a squared over to the other side. Just yeah, let's put it all over there. So what we'll get is, so we get x squared plus 4x minus, yeah, this is going to be plus a squared now. A squared is 4. So that's our a squared, 4, like that. Next one is, and then we're going to subtract by 4 squared as well. This next one's going to be y squared minus 6y, then plus a squared, which is 9. Plus 9, we're going to have to subtract that as well. And then plus, the next one is z squared plus 2z. I'm just going to put this here, a squared, for completeness, plus 2z, and this is going to be plus a squared, is going to be 1, like that. And then at the right side is negative 6. So we want all these extra stuff that we added to cancel, so we just add these on this side as well. It's going to be plus 4, and then minus, this is going to be plus 4 plus 9, because they cancel. We make them the same sign, because it's on the other side. And they would cancel. So we're not changing anything. And then the next one is plus 1, like that. And let's just add these up. So -6 plus 4 is -2, like that. And then these two is 10. So then -2 plus 10, this is just 8. Like that. All right, so this becomes, and now this is completing the square. So x squared plus 4x plus 4, that just becomes x plus a squared, where a is 2. So this becomes x plus 2 squared, like that. Next one's going to be, this next one's going to be y, this one right here, a is -3. So we're going to have a, y, whoops, can't go back here. So y minus 3 squared, and then plus the next one is, so we hear this square completed, this a is just 1. So we get x plus 1, z plus 1, like that. Z plus 1 squared, and this all equals to 8, like that. So this equals to 8, and remember this equals to r squared. And this whole thing is just an equation of a sphere. Equation of a sphere. All right, so thus, and we're asked here, so we're asked to find its center and its radius. So this is r squared. So thus our center, all right, thus the center is equal to, and remember it's going to be the negative of these. So this is x plus 2. It's going to be the negative, because if we scroll back up to our equation here, negative h, the center is h. Negative k, the center is k, and so on. So we do the negatives. So center is going to be -2 plus 3, so let's write a 3, and then -1, like that. And the radius is, I'll write radius. Radius, I'll make it capital actually. The center, and then radius. Radius is going to be r squared. I mean, r is just going to be, well, is equal to square root, square root 8. So here we square root 8, and this equals 2. Well, it's simplified, the calculus books usually does that. 4 times 2, so the 2 becomes, and the 4 becomes 2. So 2 times square root 2, and we're looking only at the positive of the square root. So that is the radius, and we could just box out the center and the radius. Alright, so now let's take a look at the last part of this video, and that's example 7. And this one states, what region in R3 is represented by the following inequalities? And we have this, 1 is less than or equal to x squared. Yeah, x squared plus y squared plus z squared, and is less than 4. And we're also given that z is less than or equal to 0. So let's take a look at the solution. The solution, the inequalities can be written as, and basically we're going to take these two inequalities, these two, it's this is greater than 1 and less than 4, less than or equal to 4 and greater than equal to 1, and write this, and then basically square root both sides. So what we'll do is 1 square root less than or equal to square root x squared plus y squared plus z squared, and this is less than or equal to 4. I'm square root 4, this equals to 2. So what we'll do is this basically equals to just 1 less than or equal to, less than or equal to square root x squared plus y squared plus z squared. In other words, that's a distance less than or equal to 2. And we'll only look at the positive because we're looking at distance right here. And these inequalities right here represent the points x, y, z whose distance from the origin is at least 1. So it's greater than 1, and it's going to be at most 2. But we are also given that z is less than or equal to 0. So the points lie on or below the xy plane. Thus, the given inequalities represent the solid region that lies beneath or on the xy plane and between or on the following spheres. Well, let's write the spheres, and we're going to write this as x squared plus y squared plus z squared equals to 1, and in between these two right here, and x squared plus y squared, and it's just equation of a sphere, plus z squared, and then the r squared, this is going to be r squared is just, well, 2 squared equals 4. And yeah, so now if we were to draw this out, this is going to be, let's draw it like this. Let's say this is our, let's say I'll draw our z-axis like that. And then our y-axis, so that's a z, and we're going to draw our y-axis going across negative and positive. There's the y, like that. And now we're going to do the x-axis across here, and there's our x-axis. And now what we'll do is, well, it's going to be 2 spheres, distance 1. This is the origin. And we're just going to have a 1 here. I'm going to draw a sphere here with distance 1, or a circle, across this. Well, actually, because it's going to be behind that, so we're just going to write it like this. Behind it, going to be on these, be like that. Alright, here I just fixed it up, made it like that. And the next one is going to be at distance 2, be like this. And again, it's behind that z-axis. Alright, here I just fixed that up, so it looks like that. And then again, it's a solid region, so let's write this. Let's draw this out like that. It's going to be underneath this. And then it's going to be behind this, like that. And now let's shade it in. I'm going to shade it up top here. So make it look like it's 3D. And shade it in, etc. Whoops. Or actually, I'll just shade it in like that. So it's shading it in. And now here, fix up the shading like that. So yeah, that's what it is. Just made it look like, so it's an indented inside. And there is our, half of a sphere with a hole inside, but then it's cut off. So it's half of that. Yeah, essentially like a thick coconut here that's cut in half. Oh yeah, coconut with a thick skin there.